This video will walk you through basic pump setup, operation, and the correction of common alarm conditions for the Kangaroo Connect enteral feeding pump. Please refer to your operator's manual for a complete list of operations, warnings, and contraindications for pump usage. System setup. Before you begin using the pump, you will need to be sure that it is fully charged or connected to a power supply. Plug the power adapter into the power adapter port located on the left side of the pump. Plug the other two-prong end of the power adapter into a nearby AC outlet. Check to see that the AC indicator light is on to confirm that the pump is receiving power from the wall outlet. Be sure to charge the pump for a minimum of 7 hours before initial use. The Kangaroo Connect enteral feeding pump can be attached to a vertical pole using the pole clamp included with the pump. Tighten the knob so the pump does not slide down the pole. The plastic retention plate is designed to be rotated in 90-degree increments to allow attachment to a horizontal tabletop surface or a horizontal bed rail. Rotate the latch plate connector to look like an upside-down letter U. Match the U on the back of the pump with the pole clamp latch plate and slide the pump down until it has been properly seated. To remove the pump, gently pull upward on the pump until it pops upward off the latch plate. Preparing to feed. Hang the prepared feeding set bag or fluid container so the starting volume of fluid is 10 inches above the top of the pump, as shown. Press the power button centered below the pump screen to power up the pump. If you have used the pump previously, your last settings were automatically retained for you. Press Keep Settings to keep the settings from the last feeding. Otherwise, press Clear Settings. Next, you will see the Load Set screen. Follow the animated instructions on the screen, sliding the bottom pegs of the cassette up into the slots, then locking the top into place. The set loaded screen will confirm that the pump has correctly identified the feeding set. You are now ready to prime the feeding set. Press the Prime button to continue. Note the warning on the screen. Select Auto Prime to automatically prime the feeding set. The pump will show an animated timing sequence indicating the prime is in process. Wait for the priming to complete. Once the auto prime is complete, the feeding solution will stop short of the feeding set connector. To top off the tubing, press and hold the Hold to Prime button until prime is complete. To continue with pump setup, press Done. If desired, Hold to Prime can be used instead for a manual prime. Press and hold the Hold to Prime button to begin the manual prime. Press Done when complete. Upon completion of the prime, the Ready to Feed screen will appear. Press Adjust Feed, then Adjust Rate to enter the feeding rate. Press the plus or minus buttons to increase or decrease the rate. Push and hold on either button to accelerate the numbers. Press OK when finished and Done to return to the feeding screen. The screen should now say Ready to Feed. Confirm the rate shown matches the rate prescribed. Once confirmed, press the Start button to begin feeding. Once started, you must press the Pause button to change settings. More options. To access the features of Clear Amount Fed, Airplane Mode, View History, Adjust Brightness, or to reprime the pump, press the More Options button. Use the arrow keys to highlight the feature you want to activate. Once highlighted, press the Select button to activate the highlighted feature. A check mark should appear next to the feature. Press the Back button, then continue to resume feeding. Additional information is available in your operator's manual. Adjusting feed settings. The dose feature on the pump is used to establish a fixed volume of formula to be delivered to the patient one time. Once the dose limit is reached, the pump will stop operation with feeding complete, but will not sound a feed bag empty alarm. This is especially useful for nighttime feedings. From the feeding screen, pause operation if the pump is feeding. Select the Adjust Feed button. If the dose feature has been enabled, the Adjust Dose button will appear below the Adjust Rate button. Press the Adjust Dose button to set the maximum amount of feeding solution to be delivered. Select OK, then Done to return to the feeding screen. Select Start to begin feeding. If the Adjust Dose button does not appear, you will need to enable the dose feature. See Advanced Settings to enable the dose feature. Advanced Settings. Each time you power on the pump, you will select Keep or Clear Settings. If you have already primed the set, select Skip Prime when prompted. Adjusting Bolus. The Bolus option allows you to enter a fixed amount of feeding solution to be delivered to the patient, repeating at a fixed interval. Select Adjust Bolus. Press each of the option buttons to input the rate, boluses, volume, and interval. After each item has received input, press Done to activate. Press Start to begin feeding. Adjusting KTO. KTO is the Keep Tube Open feature for the pump. This feature allows you to temporarily pause operation of the pump while allowing a very small amount of formula to flow through the feeding set. See the operator's manual for exact amounts. The KTO screen will show a countdown until feeding resumes. Activate the KTO feature during the feeding cycle by pressing the KTO button. The feeding will be paused. You may adjust the duration of the KTO session on this screen. When finished, select OK. To unpause the pump and resume feeding, select Continue. The pump allows the user to lock the input screen to prevent accidental button presses during portable use. This is especially helpful when transporting the pump in a backpack. From the pump feeding screen, press and hold the Lock Screen button for 5 seconds. A countdown will appear to show how long to hold the button. Once activated, a lock symbol will appear on the feeding screen, showing that the buttons are disabled. To disable the lock screen so the buttons can be reactivated, press and hold the Unlock Screen button for 5 seconds. The buttons will now be re-enabled. Maintenance and troubleshooting. Please see the operator's manual for complete cautions, instructions, and appropriate cleaning solutions. It is recommended that the pump be cleaned after each feeding set use to prevent bacterial contamination of the pump. Further, failure to clean the pump can interfere with the function of the pump rotor, which can increase the occurrence of errors and warning alarms. Always clean and/or disinfect the pump after each use when these devices are used for multiple patients. This is to prevent spreading bacteria, viruses, and other germs between patients that interact with the same pump. Directions for cleaning the pump housing. Clean the outside surface with a damp cloth or sponge. For difficult-to-clean areas, it is permissible to wash the pump under running water. Avoid submerging the pump or washing with high-pressure nozzles. Directions for cleaning the power adapter. Unless soiling is observed, the power adapter should not be cleaned. If cleaning is necessary, unplug from the outlet and wipe the exterior surfaces of the wall plug with a cloth dampened with isopropyl alcohol. Notifications, alarms. The pump status LED indicator lights on the upper right of the pump face give a quick visual indication of the pump status, especially in darkened rooms. A solid green light indicates the pump is feeding. A blinking green light indicates the pump is ready for operation, but not feeding. A solid yellow light indicates an informational notice. A blinking yellow light indicates a caution. A blinking red light indicates a critical warning. For information on specific alarms, consult your operator's manual or customer service if you need additional information. Thank you for viewing the Kangaroo Connect training video.